I wasn't expecting this warm welcome, but before I proceed, pwede bang palakpakan po natin our Diamond Priest, Carlos. Thank you for being so generous, and I was listening to him, and sabi ko, siya na kaya mag-closing. Ang galing-galing ni Carlos, diba? Tama ba? Pwede bang palakpakan natin ni Carlos? And just now, he was talking about, I think he was referring to one of the NDO-LTSS which happened in 2019, okay? And sa isip-isip ko, okay, sabi niya, he was there and it was powerful and all. Sa isip-isip ko, if he came in 2017 or 18, he would not have, he wouldn't have the same perspective or view, okay? When he heard me in 2019, okay? Tama ba? Kung dumating pa siya earlier, okay, he wouldn't find it as powerful. Okay. I would always tell people today that every time I meet people coming in today, I would always tell them, I'm very excited, I have so much to share. Why? Because kung noon tayo nagkita 5 years ago, I tell you, you wouldn't want to join Leeway International. Okay? Why? Because for the past several years, as time goes by, if there is one thing that Leeway does, it's always increasing our standards.
Yes.
The way we talk, the way we think, the way we respond, even the way we look. Okay. So just now I arrived from Cagayan de Oro City, and I'm very much excited to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. Why? Because bad weather. I think they're planning on canceling the afternoon flights. Okay. So may na lang nakaapas ko sa 11 a.m. flight ganina. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. May mga Bisaya.
Yes. Bisaya.
And just now, I'm just so thankful and grateful to be with all of us. I'd like to thank our business development, John, and of course our manager, JD, okay, for allowing me to be on this stage this afternoon. Allowing me, why? Because they did not invite me. Okay? I always need to insist. Totoo yun, hindi ko talaga nila ako ini-invite. So hindi ko alam kung bakit. Palagi ko na lang pinipilit yung sarili ko. Okay? Akala ko sa personal na buhay nga, pati pala sa stage. So going back, I'm very much excited, and especially for Manila. Okay? Why? Manila people in the house, meaning ka ng pure yun ng Manilenyo. Okay? Pure. Puro. Okay, sa kape pa, puro. Oh my gosh, yung mga hindi nagtaas ng kamay.
Bisaya.
Lately, so too much, Cebu, Iloilo, Cagayan de Oro, Davao, Leyte, and all of these places. And I'm just very excited to be here in Manila. Why? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something, but this is between you and me. Is that okay?
Yes.
Meaning you can't tell others, because if you tell them, the next time I go down to their place, okay, babatuhin nila ako ng kamatis. Okay lang ba? I'm very much excited to be in Manila. Why? Because, somehow, I just realized that every major city or every major region, it has their own, distinct na attitude. Okay? You with me? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, ito we're talking about them, we're not talking about you. Okay? So if you're from that region, huwag ka mag-alala, hindi ka kasama doon. Okay? So talk about Cebuanos. I'll tell you about Cebuanos. People from Cebu. People from Cebu are very, in Bisaya, we call it himantayon. Himantayon in Tagalog, mapanghusga. Okay? Mapanghusga, matanglawin. Judgmental. Okay? Why? Because the very first group OPP that I had was in Cebu in March of 2017. And so before I did the group OPP, I read a lot of resources. And kasi syempre kailangan galingan mo, you have to make that lasting impression, right? Okay, so after the OPP, okay, and the people were asked by the people who invited them, so how's the presentation? How's the speaker? Okay naman, maganda naman yung presentation. Kaya lang yung speaker mukhang hindi nakaka-afford ng stem cells. Okay? Kaya lang yung speaker, okay, medyo kulang sa supply. Okay? So, ganun ang mga Cebuano. Very upfront. Okay, very upfront. So, sa dinami-dami ng magandang nasabi ko, mapupunan nila yung hindi maganda. Tama ba? Tama, si Pane. Kaya today, whenever I'm in Cebu, never ako pumapasok sa office nang hindi naka-blow dry, nang hindi naka-makeup. Yes, judgmental yung mga taga-Cebu. But I love Cebuanos. Why? Because you don't have to wonder kung anong iniisip nila because they're going to tell you up front. Okay, now we move to Iloilo. Mga Ilonggo ba dito? Okay, again, I'm not talking about you. We're talking about the people who are not here. So, Ilonggo, City of Love, are very nice and warm. I tell you. Grabe, pagkahirap. Kung naka-upfront and direct ang mga Cebuanos, ang mga Ilonggo, ganun sila kababait. Huwag ka lang tumalikod. You go to... Saan pa ba? Saan pa ba? Okay naman. Okay, but Davao CTO, anong comment? Okay, I really hate Davao because that's where my ex-husband is from. Okay? So, kasi ang hirap-hirap magpaanan. I'm still being hunted up until today. Okay? And I'm very much excited to be in Manila! Mga may superiority complex. Tama ba? Feeling nyo, lalo na pag Bisaya, yung kaharap niya mukhang Bisaya. Bisaya. Feeling nyo ang angas-angas. So I'm so excited to be here because just for once, okay? Wala kang karapatang mag-angas kasi listener ka na. Kaya palakpakan natin. So this afternoon, actually, I wanted to talk so much. It's just that medyo na-disorient ako because of all the delays that's been happening. Okay, today so many delays, I tell you. But right now, I just want to talk about what do I talk about? Because I did not hear the 3 other speakers. Okay, so if I say the same things, okay, magpanggap na lang kayo na kunwari first time nyo siyang marinig. Okay, tama ba? Not just that, people need constant reminding. Tama ba? So if you've already heard it the first time earlier, now you're hearing it again, okay? Just remind yourself because I need reminding, okay? So right now I just want to talk about, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about, oh my gosh, I don't know what to talk about. And when I don't know what to talk about, okay, I feel so nervous kasi kung saan-saan ko siya huhugutin. Normally, inaabot siya ng minimum 3 hours. Okay? Anyway, Manila! Let's start with, the past several weeks that I have been going around, I would see a lot of really hardworking people. Tama ba? I mean, it's not only us, it's not only the people on stage, but I do believe that people in the audience, you understand what it entails to become successful today.
Correct.
Yes.
Tama? You sacrifice so much time away from your family. Tama ba? I get to see my kids only once a month because they live in Mindanao and I roam around a lot, okay? So, and it's not only I do believe that a lot of parents are doing it right now. Tama ba? And that is why when we start to become successful, we always have to give back to our families. Because if we sacrifice, our families are also sacrificing that much.
Yes.
Right? So we may be too preoccupied, we may be too fulfilled doing all of these things, but we think about our families, and maybe our families are very much craving for us right now. Tama? So a lot of hardworking people, a lot of people who are, very much willing to sacrifice and put in so much effort. But then you look at them, how come that not everybody is as successful as the others? Or how come there's a lot of people who have been doing all of these things faithfully, okay, doing presentations, going around from one place to another, OPP here, OPP there, event here, event there. And then we try to evaluate, and they're still in the same place. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes.
So a lot of the things that I've talked about this afternoon, actually, I have just recently shared it with my team. No, we call ourselves Team Kayumagi because obviously, I always stand out in the crowd, okay? Because of my color, okay? So I'm gonna share it with you anyway. Why? Because I want to give back, okay, to this platform that has been transforming my life and the people around me in the last 5 years, and that is Freeway International. Okay? So how come working? How come a lot of people put in so much, sacrifice so much? A lot of people are, doing all of these things consistently. And yet, how come they don't get the kind of success that they actually want for themselves? So right now, I just want to be able to ask, okay, all of us right now, okay, how much would a bottled water cost in the streets, okay, sa kalye? Okay, or
20.
nagdadrive ka along C5.
20.
Okay, 20 pesos. 20 pesos, okay? Sabihin natin, we think about this brand, okay, 500 ml, it's worth 20 pesos. Now, you go inside the coffee shop. How much would the same brand, same ml, cost in a coffee shop?
60.
60. Okay, depende kung saan coffee shop ka. Punta ka ng Starbucks, mas mahal. Okay? So from 20 pesos, it would now cost you about 60 to 80 pesos. Now, you go inside the hotel. Same brand, same ml. How much will it cost you?
100 plus.
Ha?
100.
150. Alam nyo, in January of 2020, the team and I, we got to visit Maldives. Okay? Not just any cheap hotel in Maldives. Ha? We visited Dusitani, Maldives. In January of 2020. Okay? Well, because we have so much money to spend. Hindi kasi, ang kahal ko mga morally superior, diba? So, kailangan medyo kapatan. So, in January of 2020, we were in Maldives. And you know what? Doon sa Maldives, bumabaha ng pagkain. Pero I tell you, sobrang dehydrated na. Okay. Why? Because a bottle of water na summit would cost 600 pesos per bottle. Okay. So, magkano ang bottled water sa hotel? Okay.
150.
Ang sagot is depende kung saan hotel. Okay, tama ba? You go here in any local namang hotels, kaya-kaya pa. But when you go to Maldives, a bottle would cost 600 pesos. So when we were there for 5 days and 4 nights, okay, we were eating so much, okay, but we chose to be dehydrated. It was very expensive, okay? Now, the same water bottle, if you go to the desert, okay, alright, now magbibibing muna tayo. If you go to the desert, you meet a man who has not taken in water for the last 6 days. Okay, how much would you sell your bottled water?
10 minutes.
Well, huwag mo na tasan kasi meeting to give chance to others. Okay, how much? How much are you going to be able to sell?
1 million.
Pesos. Okay, 1,000. Anyone else?
1 million.
5,000.
50 million.
Keep in mind that this is a man who has not taken in water in the last 6 days. And what happens to a human who does not consume water for maximum 7 days? That's, diba? Okay, so how much? How much? 3 what?
50 million.
3? Okay. 1 million. Okay. May nanalo na po yung 1 million. Palakpakan po natin. Why? Because, if this man has not taken in water in the last 6 days and already on the brink of losing his life, don't you think he would spend all that he has for that water? Tama ba? Now, why am I saying this? Because, I don't know if you've heard about it, but I've heard it from Rebate, okay? That a lot of times, choice is more important than effort. Choice is more important than effort, okay? We go back there later, but what I'm trying to say right now is different environment would give us different value, and different value would make us produce different results. So the same water bottle, okay, would cost very cheap in the sidewalk, yet would cost a fortune in Dusitani, Maldives, okay, and would cost what? Would be invaluable in the desert. Meaning, hindi mo na halos mapatungan ng presyo because that's how invaluable it is. You cannot compute the cost anymore. Tama ba?
Correct.
And the same way with people today. The same way with people today. A lot of people are giving in so much effort. A lot of people are sacrificing. A lot of people are doing it consistently. And yet a lot of people wonder, how come I am not yet there? Okay? And a lot to do, it has a lot to do, okay, with our choice. A lot of times compared to our own efforts. A lot of times it is the environment and not necessarily because we lack the capacity or we lack the desire to become successful. So, what does this environment tell us, or what is this thing that I am talking about? It has a lot to do with positioning. Okay? Positioning, they say, is what dictates the direction and ultimately the results of a particular company. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
Positioning. And when we ask, where does this positioning come from? Ibig sabihin, positioning today, okay, I'm not talking about you ranking up, I'm not talking about you fighting for Pavo or for Pegasus, I'm talking about identifying and knowing, being certain of who you truly are. Tama? Okay, positioning is who are you today? What is it that you truly want? And if things come your way, things that are meant to distract you or to detract you, okay, from your goals, are you able to identify and stand on your ground on who you really are? And when we talk about Relay International in terms of positioning, a lot of this positioning, of course, no, is always dictated by our CEO, Mr. Lin Bulbo. So, today, we look at Relay International, and it's big, right? So big. We look at today at how much it can grow even bigger in the next coming years. Nobody knows. Tama? Okay, are you still with me?
Yes.
Parang gusto nyo lang yata, magkwentuhan lang tayo. So, positioning, how come that more than 14 years ago, or nearly 15 years Relay started only with 38 bottles. Did you know that?
Yes.
38 bottles 15 years ago. And today, it can create billions of dollars of revenues in a month, in a day, in a year. And it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger over time. Okay, tama ba? In fact, the highest sales that we have achieved so far in terms of Philippines is not pre-pandemic, but during the pandemic. We keep on breaking the barriers in the midst of the pandemic. So how come that a company from 15 years ago that started with only 38 bottles can now produce billions of sales? Tama ba? Today, it does not matter whether you buy or not. Today, it does not matter whether I fight or not, because it will not create any impact on the sales at all. That's the reality today. How come that a company from 15 years ago that started in the very small town of Bukit Matajam in Malaysia, you know, when Boss started, he did not start immediately with an office like this. I need us to keep on reminding ourselves that. When he started, he would drive from Singapore to Bukit Matajam, that's 700 kilometers, in his black suit. And he would give his own presentations in coffee shops. Can you imagine the boss doing the OPP on his own? Okay, can you imagine? Today, what is happening, what is going to happen in January next year, Buhon? What's happening is that we are opening our headquarters in Taipei, Taiwan. Today, a company that started in a coffee shop in a very small town now owns several buildings, okay, and establishments across Asia. Are you excited? Yes! How come that a company that started with very little people, today, when the boss whistles, today, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands would gather. Okay, tama ba? Starting with very few people. It has a lot to do with what? His positioning. It has a lot to do with knowing and very certain of who he is and what he wants. Now, earlier you were talking about Relay International, right? I heard that you talked about Relay. Do we really understand what Relay means today? You know, I've heard one time from our general manager, James Strong, that, you know, when somebody calls himself right, it's like you giving people an opportunity to scrutinize and to criticize you.
Correct.
Tama ba?
Yes.
Today, you look at the boss, this guy must be very crazy. Because for him to name the company Relay or Right Way, what? He's inviting people to attack. Tama ba? Because one single mistake, it can already destroy the entire integrity. Tama? Akala ko ba right way? Bakit may nakilala ko na ganito ganun? Tama ba? Familiar? Akala ko ba right way? Pero bakit? Tama ba?
Yes.
But today, I now understand the boss, his positioning, and now understand and very much look up to Relay. Why? Because Relay International, what? It's right way or showing you the right way. And I have always thought that it's because we want to be able to show others how righteous or virtuous we are. But in fact, when boss decided to name it Riway or showing you the right way, it's not because he wants to tell others that I am right and you are wrong. It's not like that. He named it Riway because he wants what? To keep on reminding himself of his true mission. You know, Ivy said that when Riway International was established, it was not established as merely a business. It was established because of the boss mission. And what is this mission all about? Number one, it's to keep on leading people who put their faith and trust in the company, to remind himself to keep on leading them towards the right way, because he has a mission of making sure that these people become successful along the process.
Yes.
Tama ba? That's how boss positions himself today. Today, from the very beginning, he called it right way because he wants to lead you to the right way, and that is success. Okay, are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you excited that the boss wants us to become successful?
Yeah.
Number two, this mission, why is it called right way? Right way because he wants to show people who are so pessimistic and doubtful and negative about MLM. He wants to show them that this industry, through Riway International, they will be able to see that this is a business that is very noble and feasible.
Correct.
Tama? Noble. Ibig sabihin, people who have little to no chance at all of becoming successful outside. But once they come inside, today you will meet a lot of professionals. Doctors and engineers and lawyers and all of these people. And yet we don't call them by their title. Tama ba? Because
Yes.
the moment we come in, every single person is given an equal opportunity, an equal playing field at becoming successful. And that is why today it does not matter where you're coming from, because the person seated next to you is just as potential, okay, as the people who are seated in front of you. It's very
Correct.
Are you excited? This is how the boss positions himself. So the boss positions himself, okay, or defines himself as a leader who wants people who put their trust on this company become successful. And so if this is the positioning of the boss, this will now direct, okay, the way he would make decisions for the company. This would now lead, okay, or lead the way he would create, okay, or design the system. Tama ba? Okay, so for example, why do we have stem cells today? Or why do we have an oral form of live cell therapy? Because if it was just all about the profit, then 15 years ago, what? He would have put in design 10, 100, 200 products. Tama? Ibig sabihin, stem cell with apple. Okay, portier placenta with dendrobium, portier placenta with squalene, portier placenta with, tama ba? Because if it was all about profit. But today, why is our product designed in such a way? One health product in the last 15 years. Because the boss wants us to become successful.
Correct.
Today, he's giving us the greatest advantage in the field of network marketing, in the field of health and wellness industry. And what is that? The convenience that portier placenta has today. Today, you don't have to study about so many products. You don't have to memorize all of these things anymore. Because today, sabi nga ni King Bernardine, Team Phoenix natin, okay? Hindi nagmamatter kung hindi ka medical professional. Why? Because today, masakit ang ulo ko, take ka ng per ear. Okay, tama ba? Masakit yung kalamnan ko, take ka ng per ear. Masakit yung ganito ko, take ka ng per ear. Because the boss wants us to become successful.
Correct.
Today, you look at the plan. What is the plan? Last Team Elite Night. Okay, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I am the speaker. Not all of the Team Elites qualified for the Team Elite Night, last Team Elite Night. Tama ba? Not because you hit once, doesn't mean that you are entitled forever.
Yeah.
Why? Because the compensation plan or the marketing plan is designed only to pay or compensate the most productive ones. Today, you are assured that the people who go up on stage, today you are assured that the speakers of the LDS, today you are assured that the people, the big top leaders that you see, they are the most productive people. Why? Because Freeway will not allow unproductive ones to be on stage. And we don't want to be led by unproductive, incompetent, and complacent leaders. Tama ba? Do you love the system today? Bakit ba palakpakan natin sa leader? Okay? Now, because boss wants us to become successful. Today, if boss was complacent, okay, there wouldn't be portier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tama ba? Today, if boss contented himself with whatever success we have achieved in the last 15 years, they wouldn't be spending so much money on us today to help us become successful. Tama ba? The upcoming LTS, because Carlos was talking about it earlier, by right because it's an LTS, we should be spending our own money for the LTS. Why? Because it's our business. It's an investment, tama ba? But today, what did Freeway do? Hit Diamond 1 star, and your airfare will be reimbursed. See? Because boss positions himself as somebody who wants others to become successful. Okay? Today, because he positions himself as somebody who wants others to become successful, today he has designed marketing tools that are surely there to what? To support us become successful. Today we have the flip chart. Tama ba? Okay, I do believe that a lot of us started with flip chart. Today, hindi nagmamatter kung hindi ka marunong mag-iPad, mag-laptop, wala kang pambili, because we have a flip chart that costs cheaper than the Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
But this flip chart, I tell you it can lead you to your first million in the business.
Yes.
Ano ba palakpakan natin si boss? Mr. Lee. A lot of who Freeway is today, it's because of the leader. A lot of the things that Freeway does today, it's because the boss is very much certain of himself. So today, I just want to be able to ask myself and ask the people inside this house, who are you, and are you very certain of who you are right now? Can you please tell the person next to you, sino ka?
Sino ka?
Sino ka?
Sino ka?
Huwag masyadong maangas, ha? Mamaya magsusubukan dyan. Okay, bakit kasi pakinggan? Okay, do you know who you are? Do you know what you want in life? We have to be very certain. We have to be very certain. Sabi nga nila, no? Inside Freeway, we always tell people, we always have to be able to, every now and then, evaluate ourselves and ask ourselves 3 questions. Number 1, where are we coming from? Number 2, where are we right now? And number 3, where are we headed? Okay? Very important questions, because if not, then we will be stuck in a loophole of always doing OPP, always going around, and yet nothing is happening. We are not growing because we do not know where we are headed. Okay, just like today, you know Waze, right? Or GPS. Waze can only work if you can give your exact position. If you cannot pin your exact location, no matter how accurate Waze is, it cannot lead you to where you want to go. Because first you have to know where you are standing at right now. It's also important to understand where we're coming from. Okay, tama ba? Why? To remind ourselves, okay, of the things that we truly want in life. You know, today I would always say, I am not afraid to lose. Why? Because when I started negative. And so I always remind myself, okay, is there really anything to lose? Because more than 5 years ago, I was completely jobless and nobody wants to employ me, and people saw me as a liability. So today, if I invest this much money on my team, am I losing? I don't think so. Because from the very beginning, I started with 0. And everything that I am today and everything that I have today, okay, it's because of the goodness of this platform, Freeway International. So, now we have to be able to pinpoint our exact location right now. Where are you in your life right now? Where are you in your business right now? It's very important. Because if not, you know, we always say, here inside Freeway, there's no such thing as staying put. It's either you are growing or you are decaying, and there's nothing in between. It's either you are growing or you are dying in the business. There's nothing in between. Ibig sabihin, today, if you cannot not decide for yourself where you are headed in the next 3 months, in the next 1 year, then you are already losing your business. Even if you are earning money, you are already losing your business. And worse is that it's just a matter of time that we will start to lose people who will put their confidence in us because we do not know where we're headed. Tama ba? So today, identify. Asa ka karon? Saan ka ngayon? Are you a Diamond 1 star? Diamond 1 star? Can I see the Diamond 1 stars in the house? Okay? Pwede bang palakpakan natin yung mga star achievers natin? But how long have you been there? How long have you been there? I hope hindi prehistoric times. Can I see the Diamond 2 stars in the house? Diamond 2 star, Diamond 3 stars in the house. Okay? Congratulations, but how long have you been there? Today, if you are a Diamond 3 star, I need you to know that you have an option not to stay put in the same place forever. Because there is such a thing as Team Elite Pavo. Today, if you are a Team Elite Pavo, pwede bang palakpakan natin mga Team Elite Pavo? Ang tanong, kailan ka ba Team Elite Pavo? Because if you are not growing, then you are declining in the business. I don't care how much you're earning. Because earning what is never a gauge of success in this kind of business. Tama ba? Today, if you are a Team Elite Pegasus, pwede bang palakpakan natin mga Team Elite Pegasus? Team Elite Pegasus are actually very difficult. Okay? But if you have done it once, okay, the goal is to produce more Team Elite Pegasus down the line because it's a business of duplication.
Yes.
So the next way to go is to go higher.
Yes.
P1, P2, P3, all for the glory of the entire organization.
Yes.
This is the attitude of our boss, Mr. Lindo. Okay, so now, do we understand it now?
Yes.
Are you hurt somehow?
Yes.
Very good.
Hurt someone.
So
the
much
next
hurt.
question is, now that we understand that we have to be headed somewhere, okay, tama ba? Kailangan ipatunguhan tayo. Now, let's ask what Raymond Tong would always say, the more important question, and that is how. Okay? How? How to get from one place to another. Okay, tama ba?
Yes.
Okay, and I want to go back, okay, to Abraham Lincoln. I love Abraham Lincoln. In fact, my son is named Abe after Abraham Lincoln. Because when I gave birth to my son, I was schooling at the time, okay? And we were talking about American history at the time. What's so special about Abraham Lincoln is that he was the one who put an end to the century-old, okay, slavery in the U.S. at the time, okay? Because what was in the Americas at the time? They would import black African slaves, okay, from the continent and bring it to America, okay, and treat black, okay, or these people as their own properties and slaves. Ganun kalala. So it was actually Abraham Lincoln, okay, the 16th president, okay, that eventually put an end, okay, to the slavery, okay. But before he was able to put an end, understand na grabe yung pinagdaanan ng revolution and wars, okay, civil wars within America at the time. So what did Abraham Lincoln say? He said that today, okay, if you tell me to cut down a tree, you give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Okay, ulitin natin ha. If you give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, 6, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Grabe no? So we try to dissect. The goal is to what? To cut down the tree. But to be able to achieve the goal, you have to have an instrument. Tama? You have to have a tool. Okay? And he said that first 4 hours, sharpening the axe, which means that today, if we want to be able to achieve something, we have to focus on sharpening the axe. We have to focus on investing on the tools that will get us to where we want to be. Because today, if you chop down a tree and you use a bread knife, would you be able to chop down a tree? Tama ba? No. So Abraham Lincoln said that the first thing to do is identify the tools, sharpen it, and then you would need less time in order to materialize your goal. So today, what is the goal? What is the goal? Kailangan may goal and then we try to identify our tool. What is your goal today? Pavo, Pegasus, okay? Pero hindi yan lagari, takbo doon, takbo dito. Hindi yan totoo because been there, done that. When you always go around all of these places, okay? It's a matter of time that, you know, whatever we have planted will die. Why? Because our business will become a revolving door. Ibig sabihin, baba ka dito ngayon, maya-maya, lipat ka na naman, tas lipat ka na naman, paglingon mo, patay na silang lahat. Why? Because people have to be rooted in this kind of business. And when we talk about being rooted, we cannot go around. Dati, palagi ako sinisitan things, wait, nasan ka na naman, nasan ka na naman, nasan ka na naman. It took me 5 years to understand that we cannot be going around all the time. We have to be rooted. One, maximum 2 places at a time. Okay? To really be able to sustain and grow this type of business. So bakit ako nakarating doon? Nasaan na ba ako? Goal! Today, what is your goal? Okay? And you know what? There's a lot of tools in order to become successful. Tama ba? A lot of tools. Maybe you sharpen your presentation. You sharpen the way you look today. Is that a tool?
Yes.
Is that a tool? Tama ba?
Yes.
Yes, very much. No, you start to attract people when you look, sound better and confident. Am I right? So there's a lot of tools today, but one of the very important tools that is often overlooked is what? The environment. Okay? Why am I saying this? Ibig sabihin na, when my mother started to suffer from colon cancer, the doctors were telling her to give up on red meat. Why? Because red meat is inflammation. Okay? And I was thinking to myself, kung yung nanay ko titigil sa pagkain ng red meat, pati chicken, tapos kaming mga anak niya, nakasabay niya kumain sa pagkainan, kumakain kami ng humba, ng lechon, ng adobong baboy, what would happen to my mother? Would she become successful? No. The answer is no. Because environment matters. Today, I want to talk about one of the tools, okay, and that is the environment. I'm talking about environment and not necessarily people. Okay, that's two different things, okay? Because you could have a lot of people, okay, but the thing is, what kind of environment are they providing? Jim Rohn says that we are the average of the 5 people we always spend time with. Okay? Science backs this up, saying that the kind of environment that we have by 95% dictates our failure or success in life. Grabe, isn't that scary? By 95%, dinidictate siya ng environment natin kung successful tayo or failure in life. You know, nakasala yun ko ba, no? Kaya nga, no, when we went down to Cebu, I have a new kasambahay, okay? We went down to Cebu, and the first thing that she did when we arrived in Cebu, in the hotel, is to turn on the TV. Okay? So sabi ko, ate, napagod ako mag-explain. So sabi ko, ate, pakipatay ng TV kasi hindi ako mahilig mag-TV. Iisa lang yung sala natin. So whatever you're watching, maririnig ko yan. Okay? So ang ginawa ni ate, okay, kasi talagang hindi siya mapakali. Ang ginawa niya, from the TV, lumipat siya sa cellphone niya. Tapos, nanood siya ng YouTube. Tapos maya-maya, naririnig ko, bakit mo ko iniwan? Binigay ko ang lahat! Grabe, sabi ko sa inyo talagang ang sakit sa tenga. Why? I really hate watching stuff like that. Okay, why? Nakakabobo. Promise. Today, I challenge you, you go back to your neighborhood, tapos mga bandang alas 6, alas 7, alas 8, alas 9, tingnan nyo kada kapitbahay nyo kung anong ginagawa nila ng mga ganong oras. And I tell you, more than half of them watching teleserye. Now, I have nothing against it, but what I have is the kind of how it raises people today. You look at Philippine society, you look at Philippine culture today, we are easily entertained by even the smallest nonsensical things. Okay, are you with me? Because why? Environment. And bear in mind that we have been doing it, not just now, but since we were young, we have been always trained to what? Sit down in front of the TV. So today, diba? Ano ugali ng mga Pinoy? Kakapanood natin ng mga ganyang teleserye. Diba? Ang bilis-bilis, sa Bisaya pa, mabigil. Okay, tama, palagi naghahanap ng problema. Okay? For example, today, downline ka, may upline ka, hindi ka lang mapagbigyan, isang beses lang na hindi ka mapagbigyan, ano nangyayari? Nakakalimutan mo lahat ng mabubuting nagawa kasi naalala mo na lang yung isang mali. Tama ba? Today may nasabi na, ano kayang ibig sabihin niya doon sa sinabi niya na hindi niya ako mahal or wala akong kwenta ka? Tama ba? Kasi that's how we are being raised in our environment. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
So environment is very important. Okay, because the environment dictates the way we think, the way we feel, the way we talk, the way we respond, and eventually, the things that we will achieve in life will be dictated by our environment. So today, ask yourself, the people who surround you, what have they got you thinking? What have they got you feeling? What have they got you doing? And what have they got you what? Where are these people leading you? It's very important in order to become successful. Bakit? Because today, you look at your environment, the people you always chat, the people you always talk to, kapag ikaw 1 star, okay, or kapag ikaw bagong salta, okay, bagong preso lang, bagong salta, okay, and you go to your cross line, okay, I want to hit diamond 1 star, ikaw ba nakahit ka na? Okay, tapos yung cross line mo, hindi pa niya na-hit. Actually, mahirap, malabo talaga. Malabo. Tama ba? Why? Because you are asking the wrong person. So environment matters so much. Today, if you are a daughter or a son, and your parent has been in the same exact place all his life, there are people like that. Alam niyo ba yun? People who have always remained in the same place all their lives. And today, galing ka ng leader sharing, for example, grabe, ang ganda-ganda, very hopeful ako, pwede palang mangarap sa loob ng greenway, ang ganda pala ng culture doon. Tapos umuwi ka sa nanay mo or sa tatay mo who has been in the same exact place all his life. And you tell your parent, I want to become rich. Okay, anong magiging response? Ano ka? Nag-attend na po ka dito sa MOA. Umattend ka na naman sa MOA. Nagpailan na po ka dito sa MOA. Why? Hindi mali yung pangarap mo. Mali yung taong kinakausap. Okay? So today, focus on what? Focus on sharpening the tool. Focus on what? Structuring, okay? The kind of environment, okay? Start to be picky on the people you surround yourselves with. Because if you surround yourself with people who are underachievers, if you surround yourself with people who are complacent, if you surround yourself with people who are easy-go-lucky, if you surround yourself with people, makahit o hindi, okay lang. Alam niyo yung atras abante palagi. Then you end up being like these people.
Yes, yes.
So today, what is the tool of becoming successful? The environment. And you have to make sure that you are surrounded with people who will always raise your standards in doing the business. Ibig sabihin today, if the people we're with are always negative, can you expect a positive life out of it? The answer is no. And today, even if you do OPP every day, even if you don't miss any Thursday event at the OMOA office, is it possible not to become successful? Very much. Because even if you keep on doing the same things, but if you don't raise your standard, we will still end up as a failure. Ibig sabihin, today, if you don't fight for 2-star, business will not grow. If you don't fight for Pavo, business cannot grow. If you don't raise your standards of becoming a Team Elite Pegasus, business, the organization can never grow. Today, if you don't go past beyond becoming a Team Elite Pegasus, there's no growth. Okay? Pwede bang palakpakan natin yung mga sarili natin? Grabe, kanina ang warm nyo kanina bite-bite nyo Okay, ngayon, okay, are you still with me?
Yes!
Are we learning so far?
Yes!
So today we understand, okay, na hindi, to become successful in Relay is never about sales. To become successful in Relay is never about volume. To become successful in Relay is what? Always doing things for the purpose of looking for long-time business partners. Okay, tama ba? So, right now, what time is it now? Sorry. What time is it?
6 o'clock. 5:53.
Okay, kasi kakainin ko yung dinner time kapag hindi pa ako tumigil. So, I want to end my sharing with a story. And for the people who have already shared this story, bawal ang spoiler, okay? Pretend like first time mo marinig, okay? I want to talk about the story of a sculptor, okay? Alam ko na ito. Okay, the sculptor, okay? This sculptor, okay, wanted to create an image of God. But because the sculptor is a Chinese, okay, he wanted to create an image of Buddha. Okay. So, one day, the sculptor decided to go up the mountains, okay, and look for a stone, which he would later on sculpt, okay? And nakakita siya doon ng isang bato, pwede na to, okay, pwede na. Now, when he was on his way down, okay, may nahanap ulit siya na bato, but this time, the stone was even more beautiful. Mas makintab, mas makinis, okay? And pinulot niya yung bato, okay? So, para meron siyang sabi niya, eto na lang yung isusculpt ko. Pero hindi ko bibitawan itong unang nakuha ko kasi just in case. Okay? So now he went down and started sculpting the stone. Okay? And then, ang una niyang in-sculpt is yung magandang bato. So he started sculpting because he wanted to create an image of God. And the moment he started, ano tawag dyan? Poking. Help me, Carlos. Okay. Okay, pounding. And the moment, started pounding on the stone, okay, what happened was that the stone started screaming. Ah! And then, pound, sige lang, it's so painful. No, it's fine because I'm going to turn you into an image of God. No, I cannot take it anymore. Please stop. Ang sakit-sakit. Please stop. Okay? Doon lang gumagana yun, ha? Okay. So, please stop. Nasaan ako? Okay. And the sculptor couldn't take it anymore. And so he stopped pounding. So now he had no choice but to put the beautiful stone aside. Binalik niya sa sahig and picked up the stone that was not as beautiful as the other one. And so he started pounding on it because he wanted to create an image of God. And the moment he started pounding and started sculpting it, okay, the stone also started screaming. Okay? Ang sakit-sakit! Sige pa! Okay? Ang sakit pero sige pa! Sure ka? Sige pa? Yes, sige pa! Sige pa! Please! Because I want to be an image of God. Okay, so yung isa, ang sakit, itigil mo na. Ito, ang sakit pero sige pa. So, eventually, he was able to create an image of God. So now, people from all across China would travel to that ugly stone, which is no longer an ugly stone because today it's already an image of Buddha. People would now spend so much time and money just to be able to praise this image of God. And the beautiful stone na nasa kalsada lang, na apak-apakan siya, dinadaan-daanan ng mga tao. Okay? And this stone would look up at the ugly stone and tell the ugly stone, you don't deserve to be there. Ako dapat yung nandyan. Kasi mas maganda ako, okay? Mas potential ako, okay? Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay? But all he can do is just what? Keep on regretting. Okay? And keep on blaming, you don't deserve to be there. Dapat ako ang nandyan. So moral story is what? What does this tell us today? What does this tell us today?
Kahit masakit, sige pa.
No. What does this tell us today? That today, it does not matter how beautiful, it does not matter how full of potential you are. It does not matter how skillful you are. It does not even matter how much resources or network you have. Because today, if you are not able to increase ourselves and be able to toughen ourselves up and overcome struggles and overcome problems, then we will not be able to become successful in life.
Yes.
Because it's not about what you have, it's not about what you go through, it's about you deciding who you want to be along the process.
Yes.
It's you deciding how do you want to position yourself today. Okay, are you with me right now?
Yes.
So today, does not matter if you're coming in and you look so ugly and poor. It doesn't matter if today you look like you cannot afford stem cell yet. Today, it does not matter if, di ba, ang galing mo mag-present pero nakikita nila yung kalkal na buhok. Tama ba? Because today, because of how good the platform of Freeway International is, you could be an image that others would come to gather in order to simply look at you and praise you and later on duplicate.
Yeah.
So I think this is my sharing for tonight, and for the people who are joining